Alright guys, we're going to be doing a little shoreline fishing. Got a nice foggy winter day here. We're going to be using different products of the Matrix 3X shad, catching beautiful trout as we have them piled up right on this shoreline with a nice little falling tide. Alright, what I'm doing here is I got the shoreline in my back, fishing a warm winter day, but I'm trout fishing shorelines, Pontchartrain, Bourne, Catherine, really anywhere in Louisiana this time of year. I'm not going to plug the bank like we do for reds. We're going to kind of get closer to the bank and throw out. Most of the time these trout are in 2 to 6 foot of water, and they'll be right off the first little drop off where the water gets a little bit deeper. Whenever they get up on these shorelines, they still want a little bit of depth. That was an awesome hit. My buddy's throwing a topwater. Look at this beautiful fish. I saw that strike. That fish came clean out the water for it. That's a hammer. Oh yeah. But if you're throwing that topwater, I got one now, you want more excitement, throw that Matrix mullet. Come up here, Jeff, and show them that fish you got. As you can see, Jeff's got a really nice one on topwater. Oh, and I just missed a pretty good one on the plastic. Both are gonna work. Now, if Jeff was catching them, I feel like the plastic's getting much more bites. But if it was hanging in there 1 for 1, you got to go topwater. The fish are going to be bigger. It's just incredible action. It's such a fabulous sight to see. Check out some of our videos from a few months ago with Ty Hibbs, with just incredible topwater footage. And we'll show you guys, you can throw some jerkbaits when they're on these shorelines too. But I'm throwing a Matrix 3X shad, and it's about to be bananas. This is the pups. Love warm winter days like this. They know they're gonna be able to attack some fish today. So I just bomb it out there. These shallow waters, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, on the bottom. Much shorter count than fishing the deep structures like the bridges. And when you're fishing these shorelines, you can use an 1/8 ounce and just swim it. Right now I got a 1/4 on. You're not fishing that deep water where the current's really blowing you around. So them lighter jig heads gives it a nice slow fall. Nice beautiful presentation. And this is another thing you're gonna see when you're shoreline fishing is these reds. Now I've already caught several of these today. If we were back to the old limits of 16 inches, you'd be able to limit out on trout and reds real easy. I don't know if you can see in the background, but we got a little tide line. Got some ripples out there. The tide's falling, so it's coming right down the shoreline heading east. We got some ripples in that tide line, and it's slick calm where we're at. So it's got a little eddy right there it's making, and we found these fish schooling up right here at the moment. A nice little hit here. I'll pull my drawers down. Just rehook that in there. And whenever you're hooking it, you want that lure, the tail down and the hook pointing up. And I'm using that matrix rod. You can really whip a lure out there far with this thing. And I'm just doing the Pontchartrain pop, but I'm doing it in much shallower water. I mean, that lure couldn't have been 2 inches under the surface. They are stacked right here. Don't think that they're only on bridges and underwater structures when they come into Pontchartrain, guys. They love shorelines. I've done some fabulous videos in Lake Catherine this time of year. Catherine kind of lost a lot of its grass, so it hadn't been real hot this winter. And what's happening, why this shoreline here is so good in the lake is, it's not like the birds are diving, but there is shrimp in this area, and we'll see a few birds hovering. And they're hanging out in here because there's some shrimp getting swept down the shoreline with this falling tide. And I'm gonna put a new fresh pink Cosmo on. And this is part of the 3X Shad triple laminate. We do a pink up top, a yellow band down the side with a pearl belly. Got it on that light 1/4 ounce right there, bullseye. It's doing damage. Airmail it out there. No, he's growing up a little. He's growing up. I thought he was little, but he's growing up as he comes in. Oh, what do we got? A little red. Thought that was like a 15-inch trout. Them little reds, boy, they can fight. A lot of heart with those guys. Got a little too close to the shore here. Let me pull the boat out a little. These fish are sitting off the bank a pretty decent ways, and I'd say about 5 foot of water is where they're at. Always be real stealthy on these shorelines. You have to appreciate the fish's intelligence a little bit more when you're fishing shallow than you do when you're deep water jigging. When you're deep, you can be loud. Heck, you can leave the engine running if you need to, whatever. They don't really hear down in that 12 foot of water. But in this shallow stuff, you want to be stealthy. That's why people do a lot of wade fishing all over the place. And you could definitely wade this and be very successful because you're so stealthy when you're wade fishing. Now, if we were catching some 7 and 8 pounders, I'd consider that, but I am not getting in this cold water to catch these, even though these are some beautiful. That's a quality 17-inch fish that Simba's trying to rip its head off. Right there, y'all. Pink Cosmo. Doing work. Double them up. Double them up. One on the Matrix Minnow. Got mine, Matrix 3X Shad. It's just pandemonium out here, guys. Pandemonium. Jerkbaits and jigs. That might be what we name this episode here. Jerkbaits and jigs. Catching them on both. Light jig heads, Matrix Minnow jerkbaits. Can't get enough. Had several in a row there. We're gonna change it up just to see if we can have a little fun, or maybe the fish will grow up in size. The Matrix Minnow, this is a bad dude. I like this more when it's real sunny. That way that sun can get a good glimpse of the lure when you're ripping it underwater. it really flashes, but the top water's catching a few and they're beautiful, but it's definitely not the bait of choice. Let's see what they think about the Matrix minnow. What you got, the minnow on?
Yep.
Come on up here, come right next to me. Jeff's throwing the minnow. He just ripped a, looks like a good one right here. Nice fish. Watch them treble hooks when you're using that Matrix minnow. And the minnow, you know, we're fishing a little bit deeper water. There's no real grass right here. If you just pause it, the minnow will slowly sink. So you can get it down a little bit. You know, as we're fishing this 4, 5, 6 foot, the rip shad's better for like shallow grass beds as it stays up high. Feel them hopping it. There he is. Oh yeah, they're gonna like this jerkbait too. They're gonna like this jerkbait too. Jeff's got another one. Let me show y'all Jeff's fish here. Double up on the Matrix minnow, y'all. I'm using the marsh cricket. Jeff's got what we call Nightmare on, named after our beloved, or I don't know if beloved's the right word, but our fabulous Corinne Knight, who was with Matrix Shad for years, and she's off to bigger and better things now. You always want to pause it. Pop, pop, and then pause, let it sit. That Matrix minnow is going to slowly, come on up here, Jeff. And it slowly fall when you pause it. And that's a lot of times when they attach to it. As me and Jeff are just wearing these suckers out 2 at a time. It's not too often you get 2 at a time jerkbait fishing. But if you listen to me and try some shorelines in the winter and don't just get stuck on those bridges, you can see some pretty cool stuff, guys. Just over and over, baby. Bomb it out, rip, rip, stop. Rip, rip, stop, and get ready to fold this Matrix rod over. This is as fun as it gets, throwing jerkbaits this time of year. Now, a place you've heard about 1,000,000 times, this is well documented, and if you haven't, just simply YouTube search jerkbaits, hard baits, and the Mist to Go. Fabulous place to do it, but don't think that's the only place, y'all. Lake Pontchartrain shorelines, they have them too. And fish on them warmer days, they like to come up. Warmer water, the shallower water warm up quicker. Especially if that sun's up, they'll come up and sunbathe. And they love the Mist to Go shorelines, and they love Lake Pontchartrain shorelines. And throwing jerkbaits is one of the best ways to do it. All right, so when you're using this, definitely fluorocarbon. I wouldn't say you only, but you really want to fish jerkbaits when the water's real clear, because that's when it puts it at its optimal situation. What it's doing is when I rip it, pop, 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 it's darting and doing all of this. So you want light to be hitting it and flashing on it, and that's what really gets the fish's attention, as this thing's real shiny and it's flipping all over. So if the water's not clean, you're really defeating the purpose of its best attributes. And a lot of times when that water's gin clear like this, or in the wintertime when it's cold, and fish will be kind of suspended. They're not necessarily always on the bottom. So this is a real good job. This lure does a great job of getting the attention of a suspended fish like this one here. Look at him, head shaking on in. Come on up here. They don't like them hard baits in their mouth. They don't like them hard baits in their mouth. I hope you enjoyed this episode of DockSide TV, guys. We'll be giving out some X shads in your monthly bait box. We'll be giving out some Matrix minnows. Not X shads, 3X shads, the triple laminate. We'll be giving out some matrix minnows. And my biggest point on this episode is do not think shorelines aren't good in the wintertime of Pontchartrain. If it's a warm winter day and I'm getting bit by mosquitoes like today, shorelines are happening. Not a boat around, and I promise you, it was swamped at the boat launch today, and y'all all know where they're at. Till next time, guys, good fishing. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Nice seeing you again.